Late at night, Juliet Reed, the nation's beloved untouchable goddess, refuses to leave my apartment. She insists I cook her a bowl of noodles. And what perfect timing. That top-tier heartthrob the whole internet is shipping her with calls her live on a major variety show, his voice dripping with affection. Millions of fans hold their breath waiting for the goddess's sweet reply. Meanwhile, I'm staring at the boiling noodles in the pot and I casually pick up the phone for her. The next second the bathroom door swings open. Juliet, wrapped in a towel, yells, "Ethan, my silk pajamas, did you use them to mop the floor again?" And just like that, the live stream explodes. Juliet Reed is the untouchable goddess of the entertainment, the kind no stranger dares approach. In 5 years in the industry, not a single dating rumor has stuck to her. And yet right now, this otherworldly goddess is sprawled across my couch with zero grace, barking orders for me to draw her a bath. Water temperature 108 degrees, rose oil, not lavender. And Ethan, hurry up, I'm sweaty and miserable. I roll my eyes and head to the bathroom resigned. What else can I do? She has been my partner in crime since we were in diapers. Just as I'm adjusting the water temperature, Juliet's private phone on the living room table starts buzzing like crazy. It's a new phone she got for her drama promo. The screen flashes a single name, Aiden Sterling. The hottest rising star, the one currently faking an on-screen romance with Juliet to ride the hype, hailed as the most beautiful face in the industry. I don't think much of it, assuming it's urgent. I wipe my hands and swipe to answer. "Juliet," comes Aiden's voice from the other end. "What are you up to so late?" He deliberately lowers his voice into something smooth and magnetic, layered with a flirtatious probe. "Did you catch the show tonight? The fans are spamming our names everywhere. I miss you a little." His voice is sticky sweet, drenched in artificial sweetness. I freeze for a second, and before I can explain who I am, the sound of rushing water spills out of the bathroom, followed by Juliet's instantly recognizable, ice-cool voice. Except right now it's loaded with bratty fury, sharp enough to cut through walls. "Ethan, where the hell are you? Why is this tub so slippery? Did you forget to scrub it again before letting me get in? Are you trying to kill me so you can inherit my credit card debt?" The air freezes. Dead silence on the other end of the line. I can literally hear the static buzzing. I glance down at the screen, and only now do I notice a tiny line of text in the top right corner. Live broadcast. My hand jerks. I almost dropped the very expensive phone straight into the toilet. Live. 10 p.m. primetime variety show broadcasting live. Which means Juliet's completely undignified screaming, and the mystery man, me, has just been beamed through every signal tower to the ears of tens of millions of viewers. She might not be available right now? I stammer dryly into the receiver. "Who is this? You're at Juliet's place this late? What are you two doing?" Aiden's voice instantly cracks. The devoted puppy persona he has been milking shatters in real time, his tone shrill as a cat with its tail stepped on. I'm still trying to come up with a story. Maybe I'm the plumber, maybe I'm the delivery guy. Then the bathroom door slams open. Juliet stands there in a loosely wrapped towel, her wet hair clinging to her slender neck. Water droplets glisten on the face that drives millions of fanboys crazy. Right now, she's glaring at me, furious. "Ethan, are you deaf? I told you to bring me a fresh towel. Who are you whispering to over there?" She pads barefoot across the floor, marches up to me, and snatches the phone. "Who is this? It's the middle of the night. Can you not be annoying?" She doesn't even glance at the screen, and just barks into the receiver. "Spit it out. I'm busy taking a bath." I close my eyes in despair. It's over. The entertainment is about to have an earthquake tonight. Juliet's untouchable goddess persona is about to shatter into dust, beyond any hope of repair. I don't even need to look to know the trending list is already nuked in Weibo. Juliet Reed, Secret Man, Ice Queen persona shattered, Aiden Sterling live broadcast cheated on. Juliet has been my best friend since childhood, and my eternal headache. Ever since she stole my lollipop in kindergarten, this woman has been sitting on my head, bossing me around. The world sees her as a distant ice goddess. Only I know that in private she's a class -9 life skills disaster, a goddess with a bad temper and picky eating habits. We lived across the hall growing up. My mom used to say, "Ethan, sweetheart, Juliet has had a rough deal. Her parents are always busy. Look out for her, will you?" So that looking out has now lasted over 20 years. I bought her first box of pads. I took the fall for her first fight. I even filled out her first acting resume. I look at this clueless woman in front of me and swallow hard. I have to admit, her personality may be terrible, but the face is top tier. Fresh out of the bath, her skin glows. Her collarbones are exquisite. Those eyes that are usually colder than ice are now misted with steam, dangerously alluring. But I don't dare look too long, because the moment she catches me admiring her, she'll absolutely use those size 7 feet to kick me square in the rear and mock me. "Ethan, are you fantasizing about me again? What are you staring at? Where's my towel?" Juliet, seeing me zoned out, jabs a finger into my chest with so much force she nearly gives me internal bleeding. It's on the rack," I mumble, pointing behind me guiltily. She gives a smug huff and tosses the phone back to me. "Hang up, it's annoying. Aiden must be brain damaged. The drama's already wrapped and he's still clinging to me. Does he really think I can't see he's just riding my hype?" I'm still holding the active call in my hand, like a hot potato. On the other end, Aiden hasn't hung up. Not only hasn't he hung up, the live stream is clearly still rolling. I can hear the frantic cuts from the director's booth, and the uncontrollable shrieks and gasps from the studio audience. Then, beep! At last, the other side finally reacts, scrambling to cut the signal. The world finally goes quiet. I toss the phone onto the couch, exhale a long breath, and turn toward the kitchen to cook noodles for Her Majesty. It's a rule. After every bath, Juliet has to eat my scallion oil noodles. One missing scallion and she throws a fit. "Ethan, I want 2 fried eggs!" Juliet shouts from the bathroom, her voice booming with zero awareness that she's a movie star. I chop scallions while mentally planning my escape route. When Linda, her manager, shows up, she's going to skin me alive. After all, I just personally destroyed the zero scandal myth their agency spent 5 years building. But I didn't expect karma to hit this fast. The noodles are barely out of the pot when the doorbell starts ringing like it's about to detonate. "Ethan, open up. I know Juliet's in there. You two have caused a disaster." Linda's signature broken gong voice blasts through the door. She sounds like she's about to have a heart attack. Before I can get to the door, Juliet emerges from the bathroom, drying her hair. She's wearing my oversized t-shirt with nothing visible below the waist, 2 long legs flashing distractingly. "Who is it? So annoying." She sniffs, and then her eyes light up. "Noodles are ready. Smells amazing." She completely ignores the manic pounding at the door, pounces on the dining table, grabs the bowl, and slurps a huge mouthful. "Your noodles are still the best. The craft services meals taste like pig slop." I sigh helplessly and go open the door. The moment I crack it open, Linda bursts in like a cannonball. "Juliet, you still have the appetite for noodles?" Linda stares at her actress, oily-mouthed and unrepentant, shaking with rage, and shoves a tablet in her face. "Look at this." The trending list exploded. The servers crashed. Several blood-red hashtags scream across the screen. Juliet Reed bathroom gate, who is mystery man Ethan? Aiden Sterling publicly cheated on. Juliet Reed get out of showbiz. Juliet, half a fried egg dangling from her mouth, lazily glances at the screen. So what if it blew up? She swallows the egg, grabs a napkin, and wipes her mouth, totally unfazed. "I've been wanting to reinvent myself anyway. Holding up that Ice Queen image is exhausting." You! Linda clutches her chest, finger trembling as she points at Juliet. "Reinvent yourself? This isn't reinventing, this is getting cancelled. Do you understand? The contract penalties alone will ruin you." "Fine, I'll pay," Juliet shrugs, then suddenly turns to me with a sly grin. "Ethan's got money. Make him pay." I'm about to protest when Linda's sharp gaze locks onto me. "Ethan, you usually seem like such a decent kid. How could you mess up at the worst possible moment? That was a live broadcast." "Live," Linda jabs at my forehead in frustration. "Now look, the whole internet is hunting you down. They're saying you're Juliet's kept boy toy, the type who lives off his girlfriend's money and has a bad attitude." My mouth twitches. "Kept man?" I'm a dignified, "Okay, fine. Under this roof I do kind of look like the one being kept." "Linda, I actually tried to explain earlier." "Quiet," Linda cuts me off. "What's the point of explaining now? The PR team is losing their minds. There's only one option left." Linda takes a deep breath. Her eyes dart between Juliet and me, and through gritted teeth she finally says it. "Go public with the relationship." "Huh?" Juliet and I say at the same time. "What, huh? This is the only way." Linda fires off rapidly. "We say you're childhood sweethearts, dating for years, stable and committed. That way we salvage public goodwill, turn scandalous lifestyle into pure love warrior. Ethan isn't bad looking anyway. Clean him up and he's presentable." Juliet blinks. Then suddenly she smiles. She sets down her chopsticks, walks over to me, drapes an arm over my shoulder, and practically hangs off me. "Fine, I'm in. Lucky him." She tilts her head, warm breath brushing against my ear, and whispers low enough that only we can hear. "Hey, shorty, from now on, you're my officially recognized boyfriend. Aren't you thrilled?" My heart skips a beat. I look at her face, inches from mine. Her eyes sparkle with mischievous triumph, but there's something else hidden underneath, something I can't quite read. Just then, my phone buzzes in my pocket. I pull it out and look. It's a text from an unknown number. Short message, thick with menace. "Stay away from Juliet unless you want all your old dirty secrets dragged back into the light." I narrow my eyes at the message. Old dirty secrets? I've lived clean. My only dark history was quitting that circle for Juliet's sake. So somebody's panicking. Aiden? Or the Capitol backing him? What's wrong? Juliet senses the shift in my mood and leans in to see my phone. I calmly lock the screen and reach up to clasp the hand resting on my shoulder. Her palm is soft and cool. "Nothing. Junk message." I look up at Linda. The lazy haze in my eyes vanishes, replaced by something sharp. I look like a different person. "Linda, going public is fine, but," I pause and let out a cold laugh, "since Aiden Sterling wants to step on us to climb higher, he'd better be ready to fall and shatter into 1,000 pieces." Linda freezes. In all the years she's known me, she has never seen me wear that expression. The aura of someone used to commanding from above, ruthless and decisive, makes even this veteran top manager feel a flicker of intimidation. Ethan, what are you about to do?" I don't answer. I pick up Juliet's phone again. The variety show may have cut the call, but the broadcast is far from over. Right now, Aiden is on camera, eyes rimmed red, playing the victim, hinting that Juliet leads a reckless personal life and that he's the one who got emotionally deceived. The live comments are flooded with "poor Aiden" and vicious slurs aimed at Juliet and her so-called homewrecker. I let out a quiet laugh, fingers flying across the screen. If we're going to play, we're going big. I log straight into Juliet's main Weibo account, the biggest social media platform. At this very moment, every eye on the internet is fixed on that account. I draft a post. The photo is the half-eaten bowl of scallion oil noodles, and Juliet from behind, wearing my t-shirt. The caption is one simple line, but enough to blow up the entire industry. "The noodles I've been eating since childhood. No substitute will do. As for certain clowns, if you could put that acting into your actual roles, you wouldn't still be a lip-syncing viral star." At Aiden Sterling. I hit send. The moment the post goes through, the screen freezes like an invisible hand has crushed it, locked on a spinning loading circle. Then the app crashes, leaving the home screen in dead silence. 3 seconds later, Linda's scream nearly blows the roof off. Ethan, are you out of your mind? Posting that from Juliet's main account? You're declaring war on a top-tier celebrity. Are you trying to get us killed faster? Linda's hands shake as she clutches the tablet. The once flooded comment section has gone completely blank. The Weibo servers have crashed again. I toss the phone back onto the couch and walk into the bathroom for the hairdryer. Juliet is sitting cross-legged on the rug, her wet hair still dripping, soaking a large patch of my silk carpet. She, on the other hand, is perfectly calm, a handful of sunflower seeds in her hand, cracking them open while mumbling to Linda, "Why are you wailing? It's just a Weibo post. Not a big deal." "Not a big deal?" Linda lets out a furious laugh. She's about to launch into a lecture when her phone suddenly explodes with a ring. The moment she sees the caller ID, her expression flips from rage to terror, then to pure disbelief. It's the head director of Starlight Night. Linda swallows hard and shakily puts the call on speaker. The director's voice comes through, breathless and barely containing his excitement. "Linda, forget the PR damage control. The whole internet is talking about this. The servers have crashed twice. This is a tsunami of traffic. I don't care who that guy on the phone was. Bring Juliet and him. Get to the studio right now, immediately. We're doing a live clarification segment. If you come, I'll triple the appearance fee. No, quintuple it." Linda's grip tightens on the phone and she instinctively starts to refuse. "Director, this is too risky. Juliet's state right now." "We're going. Why wouldn't we?" A calm voice cuts through Linda's hesitation. I plug in the hairdryer, and warm air rushes out. Standing behind Juliet, I lift a strand of her long hair with practiced ease, my fingers gliding through it, gentle as if handling a precious work of art. Juliet, like a cat being petted just right, narrows her eyes in contentment, tilts her head back, and rests it against my leg. "Ethan, do you have any idea what live broadcast means? No editing, no script. Aiden will absolutely set traps for you. You're a regular person. One wrong word out of nerves and your life is over." Linda stomps her foot in panic. I switch off the hairdryer, and the world goes quiet. I look down at Juliet's flawless face, and she gazes up at me. A flicker of mischief crosses her eyes, something only I can read. Some trash has to be taken out in person to be truly gone. What's the point of cursing through a screen? I toss the hairdryer to Linda and casually smooth out Juliet's half-dry hair. Besides, when someone has come bullying us at our doorstep, not showing up to give him a parting gift would be downright impolite. Juliet bursts out laughing, stands up, and stretches. In that instant, her aura flips from sleepy girl next door back to full-blown movie star. "Linda, get the car. Since people want a show, let's give them one." Half an hour later, the chauffeured van pulls into the underground garage of the TV station. The moment we step out, I feel the tension thick in the air. Paparazzi cameras shove inches from my face, flashes blinding enough to make my eyes burn. Expressionless, I step in front of Juliet, shielding her all the way into the elevator. The atmosphere backstage is suffocating. The crew looks at us like we're two corpses about to be buried, a mix of pity and morbid curiosity. "Please head straight to the stage. The broadcast is already live." The director hurries up to us, rubbing his hands together, face flushed with excitement. But his eyes keep flicking toward me, sizing up the mystery man, trying to gauge how much I'm worth. I ignore the whispers around me, push open the door to the stage, and the blinding spotlight hits me full in the face. Center stage, Aiden Sterling sits in a pure white bespoke suit, eyes faintly red-rimmed, expression mournful, the perfect picture of a devoted prince used and discarded. The moment he sees us walk out, a flash of cruelty crosses his eyes, gone in an instant, replaced by a look of suppressed agony. "Juliet, you came!" Aiden stands up, voice hoarse, and sighs into the microphone. "You really didn't need to bring this friend along. As long as you're happy, I can take a little hurt. I just don't want you to be deceived." A textbook retreat to advance move. Slick. The fans in the audience instantly erupt, waving light-up fan signs and shrieking, "Aiden, don't cry! Those two cheaters, get out of showbiz!" The host is the kind who lives for chaos. He shoves the mic in my face, his tone sharp and probing. "Sir, that post on Juliet's Weibo, you sent that, didn't you? Mr. Sterling says he's worried Juliet has been deceived, even hinting that someone has a violent temper and aggressive tendencies. How do you respond? What do you do for a living? Are you really the kept man everyone's talking about?" Juliet's brow shoots up. She's about to snap, but I rest a hand on her shoulder. Her shoulder is thin, tense with anger right now. I pat it gently, signaling her to wait. Aiden chimes in with fake graciousness. "Host, don't ask it like that. Maybe this gentleman just has a blunt personality. If Juliet chose him, she must have her reasons. Even though it really does hurt me." After saying that, he wipes at a non-existent tear in the corner of his eye, putting on a brave face. The audience boos. The live comments have probably roasted my entire family tree by now. I look at Aiden's foundation-caked face and suddenly I smile. I don't take the host microphone. Instead, I walk straight to center stage where a massive LED screen displays the audience interaction. Explanation? I pull out my phone, calmly plugging a cable into the screen's port, my movement smooth and unhurried. As if this isn't a live stream with tens of millions of viewers, but my own living room. Since everyone is so curious about the truth, let's take a look at something interesting. Aiden's expression flickers, sensing something is wrong. Instinctively, he tries to stop me. "What are you doing? This is a live broadcast, not your playground. What are you so anxious about?" I look up, my gaze sharp as a blade, piercing straight into his eyes. "Mr. Sterling was crying so heartbroken on stage just now. How did you find the time to text me from backstage?" The moment I finish, the giant screen flares to life. The audience holds its breath, expecting some intimate photo to prove who I am. Instead, what appears on screen is a high-resolution screenshot of a text message, sender labeled Aiden Sterling private number. The content is exactly that threatening message. Stay away from Juliet, unless you want all your old dirty secrets dragged back into the light. Most devastating of all, I deliberately opened the message details. Sent at 10:15 p.m., sent location, the TV station Studio One backstage green room. The entire venue goes dead silent. Even the host stands there with his mouth open, forgetting his lines. This isn't just a threat. This is hard proof. Proof that Aiden Sterling is up here playing the devoted lover, while running thug tactics behind the scenes. I unplug the cable, turn around, look at Aiden's paper-white face, and let out a cold laugh straight at the camera. So this is what a top-tier celebrity is made of. Acting the lovesick fool on stage while sending threatening texts from backstage. Don't dig up the past. I take a step forward. Aiden instinctively backs up, nearly tripping over the couch behind him. Aiden, you asked who I was? I lock onto his panicked eyes, my voice quiet, but through the microphone it carries to every corner of the studio. I'm Juliet's oldest friend, the one who has cleaned up her messes for 20 years. Who the hell are you to think you can threaten me? You're lying! Aiden finally snaps back, his voice cracking shrill. He jabs a finger at the screen, hands shaking violently. That's photoshopped! I didn't send that! My phone went missing backstage. Someone hacked it. It was you. You must have stolen my phone and staged this whole thing. An excuse this clumsy leaves even his own fans frozen. The screaming clearly dies down. Aiden himself realizes the lie won't hold. Sweat beads on his forehead, his eyes darting wildly before locking onto me like he's grasping at one last lifeline. I don't believe it. How could Juliet fall for a scheming lowlife like you? Aiden rips off his tie, the ugly fury of wounded pride shredding the elegant facade he has been holding up. He strides over to the piano on stage, the one the show originally prepared for his talent showcase. Ethan, right? Didn't you call me a lip-syncing viral star? Fine. He slams the keys, a jarring chord ringing through the hall. If you're a real man, stop hiding behind a woman and playing dirty tricks. Let's compete head-to-head. Talent, piano, guitar, singing. You pick. I'll let Juliet see who's actually talented and who's the useless-kept man. His eyes are bloodshot, challenging, trying to use this primal showdown to salvage the collapsing situation, to win back ground on his home turf. Juliet rolls her eyes, about to swear at him, but I hold her back again. I look at the expensive Steinway grand piano, then at Aiden, all bark and no bite, and slowly roll up my sleeves. Compete in talent? I smile, amused. A trace of pity flickers in my eyes. Fine. If you're this eager to humiliate yourself, I'll help you out. Aiden clearly came prepared. He snaps his fingers, and the studio lights instantly shift to a hazy deep purple. A dance crew already waiting in the wings swarms onto the stage, and the speakers blast the intro of his breakout hit, Galaxy of Love. The pounding bass rattles the chest. Aiden grips a diamond-studded microphone, gyrating his hips while throwing greasy, sultry looks at the camera. Baby, you are my galaxy, I am your starlight. To be fair, the production on this song cost a fortune. The staging burned through cash, but it's missing one thing, soul. Even on a live broadcast, the heavy auto-tune can't mask how strained his breathing is. Every high note sounds like it's being yanked up by a machine, full of that metallic, ripping quality. Ah, Aiden, you're so hot. Those abs, those legs. The professional fans in the audience are committed. The screams nearly blow the roof off. Aiden clearly soaks in the fake adoration. As the song ends, he's panting, eyes flashing with provocation as he turns to me. His expression screams. See that? This is the power of money. Mr. Cole. Aiden wipes the sweat from his forehead, deliberately stressing the Mr., dripping with condescension. Though you're just a regular guy, since we're competing, I won't take advantage. The session musicians here are top of the line. What do you want to sing? Two Tigers, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? Whatever you know, they can play backup. The audience bursts into mocking laughter. I ignore his snide tone. My eyes pass right over the expensive grand piano and land on a corner of the stage, where a slightly chipped acoustic guitar leans against the wall. A few yellowed stickers cling to the body, clearly the kind of old workhorse the band uses for rehearsals. I walk over and pick it up by the neck. This will do. The lead band leader, a middle-aged guy with long hair, has been idly spinning a drumstick. When he sees me grab that beat-up guitar, his brow furrows hard. Hey kid, the action on that one is pretty stiff, and it's not plugged in, the sound pickup will be. It's fine. I sit down on the stool and lightly strum the strings. Tuning's a little off. I press the strings with my left hand, and my right hand expertly twists the tuning pegs. When an unusually tricky suspended chord rings out, crisp and clear, carrying a wild, unrestrained edge, the bandleader's drumstick freezes in mid-spin. He sits bolt upright. His tired eyes suddenly burn with a startling light, locked on me. A true pro shows it in one move. That fingering was an extremely rare open-string finger-picking technique, used only by hardcore folk musicians. The chatter in the studio gradually fades. I adjust the microphone's height, my gaze cutting through the harsh spotlight, landing on Juliet. She's standing at the side of the stage, arms crossed, wearing a fierce, if you embarrass yourself I will kill you expression. But her fingers, gripping her own arms tight, betray how nervous she is. This song has no name. I strum the strings, voice low, no flashy tricks, just a tone like sandpaper smoothed by time. At 5, you stole my candy. At 7, you climbed a tree and tore your dress. You said you'd grow up to marry the mightiest king, but at 18, you cried and begged me to cook you a bowl of hot soup. Simple strumming paired with my unhurried storytelling vocals instantly pulls the entire studio into a sepia-toned memory, a place from long ago. This isn't some hollow love ballad. This is 20 years of my history with Juliet. The lyrics never say the word love, but every line is about that loud, unreasonable, painfully fragile girl. Juliet's eyes visibly redden. She drops her arms and presses her hand hard against her mouth, as if she's remembering the moments only the two of us know. The afternoon I took a beating for her. The night she sat sobbing on the curb after failing her first audition. The countless mornings I cooked her noodles. On the chorus, my fingers quicken into syncopated rhythms, like sudden rain, the emotion building. This world is dazzling and strange. Everyone wants fame. Only I know what you look like with the armor off. Not some untouchable goddess. Just a little girl afraid of the dark, afraid of ghosts, afraid of being alone. The final note drops. I press my palm against the strings, the echo trembling in the air. The entire room is dead silent. No screams, no glow sticks. Everyone looks frozen in place. Until, at the judge's table, a man in black-framed glasses, the notoriously sharp-tongued music critic Damon Hayes, suddenly shoots to his feet. The crash of his falling chair breaks the silence. This arrangement, Damon's voice trembles with emotion. He points at me, looking at me like he's seeing a resurrected legend. That distinctive chromatic descent, and that narrative folk structure, it sounds exactly. The host, caught off guard, quickly asks, Mr. Hayes sounds like what? Like that genius songwriter from 5 years ago, the one who burst onto the scene and vanished without a trace. Damon's face is flushed with excitement. Only N could write a melody that strikes the soul like that. This level of artistry is nothing like the assembly line garbage we get today. The moment those words leave his mouth, the room erupts. The one who wrote Deep Sea and swept the Golden Melody Awards, then mysteriously disappeared? Holy crap, I've got goosebumps. This is real music. The livestream comments flip in an instant. Oh my god, I'm crying. This is real emotion. What was that garbage Aiden just sang? An exorcism gone wrong? Honestly, these lyrics hit way too hard. 20 years of childhood love. Who could resist that? Isn't this way more shippable than that artificial sweetener stuff? I play guitar. That strumming technique Ethan just did needs at least 10 years of training to pull off. He's the real deal. Aiden stands off to the side, his face dark as a burnt pot. The stage he was so proud of, the choreography he prepared so carefully, looks cheap and pathetic next to a beat-up acoustic guitar in a folk song. He set out to humiliate me, and instead turned himself into the manure that makes the flower bloom brighter. Coincidence. This has to be a coincidence. Aiden grits through his teeth, the words squeezing out. What does knowing how to play guitar prove? The industry today wants all-around performers. He refuses to give up. His eyes, burning with jealousy and resentment, lock onto me. Suddenly, as if struck by a new idea, a cold, sinister smile spreads across his face. Mr. Cole, your musical skill is impressive. You must have been practicing a lot. Aiden snatches the mic, cutting through the studio chatter. But since this is a live variety show, just singing is boring. Juliet is a Best Actress winner, I'm an actor. Why don't we move on to the next round, an acting showdown? The host glances at the director, who is nodding furiously from the floor. The traffic numbers are already off the charts. As long as there's conflict, there are ratings. Alright then, an acting showdown it is. The host announces it with relish. Aiden straightens his collar, snapping back into full confidence mode. He may have lost the singing round, but acting is his profession. He's classically trained. His acting has always been criticized as greasy, but against a regular guy who has never been on camera, it's a different league entirely. The scene will be reunited lovers. Aiden narrows his eyes, letting his gaze roam over Juliet with hungry intent. Juliet, since Mr. Cole is your boyfriend, let him play the male lead. I'll play the ex-boyfriend trying to win you back. We'll improvise. Let's see who can keep up with whom. I can hear his scheming gears grinding from across the stage. This isn't a competition. This is a thinly veiled excuse to grope Juliet on live television, or to use his lines and body language to corner me into humiliation. Juliet starts to refuse, but I gently set the guitar aside and stand up. Sure, I look at Aiden and smile. If you want to play, I'll play along. The stage lights instantly dim, leaving only a single spotlight in the center. Aiden takes a deep breath and snaps into character. I have to admit, his face does pull off the look. He strides toward Juliet, grabs her wrist, eyes burning with obsessive fervor. Juliet, why are you avoiding me? I know you still love me. That guy doesn't deserve you. As Aiden delivers his lines, he uses the opportunity to press his body closer to Juliet, his other hand sliding naturally toward her waist. Her back blocks most of the camera's view, but I see it clearly. The disgusting, lecherous gleam in his eyes. He's gambling. Gambling that on live broadcast Juliet won't dare push him off. Gambling that an outsider like me will be intimidated by his stage presence, frozen as a useless prop. Juliet's brow knots tight. She's about to break free when, click, the crisp sound of a buckle cuts sharply through the silent studio. Aiden freezes mid-motion. I calmly unfasten the first button of my shirt collar, then the second. The lazy, easygoing air around me vanishes completely. I don't look at Aiden. I don't look at Juliet. I just lower my head slightly, roll up my sleeves, revealing the clean lines of my forearms. When I look up again, those eyes that usually rest half-closed, lazy and sleepy, now look like a predator woken from its sleep, pupils flooded with terrifying aggression. The air freezes. I walk toward them, step by step, no shouting, no theatrics. But with every step I take, Aiden's grip on Juliet's wrist trembles. He feels a pressure he has never known before, the sensation of being marked by an apex predator, breathing suddenly difficult. I move behind Aiden, reach out and pinch the collar of his expensive bespoke suit between two fingers, like I'm holding a filthy rat. Doesn't deserve her? I lean close to his ear, my voice low and rough, carrying a careless mockery but unmistakable danger. Who gave you the nerve to touch my woman? In this moment, I'm not Ethan Cole, I'm the man from the script, who controls everything, ruthless and decisive, an unhinged power player. Aiden's legs give way. From just one look, he drops straight to his knees on the stage. The studio is terrifyingly silent. Only the dull thud of Aiden's knees hitting the floor still echoes. He kneels there, face ghostly white, eyes blank, clearly stunned senseless. He doesn't look like he's acting. He looks like he's just crossed paths with someone deadly and lost his nerve completely. I don't give him a moment to recover. What? Down already? I let out a quiet laugh, but through the microphone it carries crystal clear. Pathetic. I crouch down, bringing my eyes level with his. The sharp edge from a moment ago pulls back. I switch into a different look. The pressure dissolves, leaving only weariness and weight. I ignore the kneeling Aiden and look past him at Juliet. Right now, my eyes are only on her. Juliet. I say her name, and in those 3 syllables lies the joy of reunion, the ache of having to let go, and the unspoken feelings buried deep inside. Juliet shivers. She is a Best Actress winner after all. Her instincts are fast. The moment my gaze touches her, she's pulled straight into the scene. She started off just watching the show, but now, looking into my eyes, the usual hint of mockery she always wears is now gone, replaced by something as deep as still water. Juliet instinctively takes a step forward, her eyes red, her lips trembling. You're back. That line isn't in any script. She says it on her own. I lift my hand, fingertips stopping just an inch from her cheek, wanting to touch her but not daring. The tension holds everyone in the room hostage. No one dares to breathe. I never went far. The corner of my mouth twitches, a bitter half smile. My voice goes hoarse. I've been watching you from the shadows, watching you shine, watching trash like him circle around you. On the last words, my gaze turns ice cold. Out of the corner of my eye, my glance cuts like a blade toward Aiden on the floor. Aiden finally snaps back to reality. Shame floods his face. He flushes a dark, ugly red. He, the great A-lister, is on his knees in front of a nobody on live broadcast. If this gets out, his career is over. You're lying. Aiden jumps to his feet, pointing at me and shouting, trying to wrestle the scene back. I'm the lead. You're just a side character. Director, he's rewriting the script. His voice cracks dry and shrill, completely off pitch. Against the energy Juliet and I are putting out, he looks like a desperate clown, awkward in every frame. I don't even turn around. I just give him a casual glance like he was an ant on the sidewalk. I lift my index finger to my lips. Grown-ups are talking, kids stay out of it. That one line completely breaks Aiden. His mouth opens and closes like a fish out of water, his throat clicking, unable to push out a single complete sentence. Every line he prepared, every confession and accusation, has vanished from his head. He's become a background prop. Less than a prop, really. He's just something in the way. The director's voice explodes through the speakers. Perfect, absolutely perfect. That eye work was incredible. The house lights come up, and that thick, sticky tension dissolves completely. I pull my hand back. The emotion drains from my eyes, and I'm back to that lazy, casual look. That intense man from a moment ago might as well have been a different person. Juliet is still frozen, tears clinging to the corners of her eyes, staring at me, not yet recovered. I pull a tissue from my pocket and hand it to her. Wipe up, your makeup will smudge. That snaps her out of it. She shoots me a sharp glare, snatches the tissue and roughly wipes her face, but her ears turn red. Ethan, when did you learn how to act? She lowers her voice, looking like she can't believe it. I shrug. I haven't eaten pork, but I've seen a pig run. Watching you act crazy in front of the mirror at home every day, even an idiot would pick it up. Juliet wants to stomp on my foot, but the cameras force her to hold back. The live comments are already exploding. Oh my god, that look just now, I'm dead. I hereby declare Ethan my new husband. This acting is leagues above Aiden. What was Aiden even doing? Just glaring and yelling like he's brain dead. Is this what real talent looks like? Sings amazing, acts even better. Where did Juliet dig up this hidden gem? Aiden dropping to his knees, I literally spit out my drink. This is what classically trained means. I'm dying laughing. Aiden stands off to the side, watching the comments scroll across the giant screen, trembling all over. He has lost. Lost so badly he doesn't have a leg to stand on. He got crushed at singing by a beat-up guitar, demolished at acting by a single look. Everything he was proud of has become a joke in front of me. The host has good instincts. He's stunned too, but the show must go on. He steps up with some awkward praise. Incredible. Mr. Cole, you really are full of hidden depths. Then he turns to a stone-faced Aiden. Well, it looks like in our improvisation segment, Mr. Cole comes out slightly ahead. So next, since everyone's having so much fun, why don't we play something more exciting? I cut the host off, turning to smile at Aiden, a blade hidden in the smile. Didn't Aiden say earlier he wanted to get to know me? Let's play truth or dare, in front of the whole internet. Whoever lies is a coward. Aiden instinctively wants to refuse. He's not in good shape, and his gut tells him this is a trap. Before he can speak, the audience starts cheering. Play it. The crowd loves chaos. The director frantically signals from below, telling Aiden to accept. The ratings are through the roof. Backing down now would shatter his authentic personality image. Aiden grits his teeth, forcing his pride to hold. Fine, let's play. I stand straight and cast no crooked shadow. What's there to be afraid of? Glad to hear it. I snap my fingers. The crew brings out 2 chairs. We sit facing each other, less than a meter apart. This is what they call intimate proximity. At this distance, intimidation gets amplified. Every tiny shift in his face is impossible to hide. I have a master's degree in psychology. I rarely use it, but for dealing with a hollow shell like Aiden, it's more than enough. Since I'm just a regular guy, I'll go first. I lean back in the chair, a lighter spinning lazily in my hand. Mr. Sterling, first question is simple. Do you really love Juliet? Aiden blinks, not expecting something so easy. He instantly adjusts his expression, turning to the camera with deep sincerity. Of course. My feelings for Juliet are witnessed by heaven and earth. For 5 years I have. Lying. I cut him off coldly. Your pupils just dilated by 0.5 millimeter. Your left ring finger just scraped against the seam of your pants. That's a classic anxiety tell. On top of that, you paused for 1.2 seconds before answering, with your eyes drifting up and to the right. In the cerebral cortex response zone, that signals fabricating a lie. I rattle off the data like a machine. The audience erupts. Aiden's face changes. You, what nonsense are you talking? This is a mind game. I don't buy it. Whether it's nonsense, you know in your own heart. I lean forward, instantly closing the gap, crushing him with proximity. Second question, you said 5 years ago you were studying music abroad at Berkeley, which is why you missed the Golden Melody Awards ceremony, correct? Aiden's stomach drops. This is the shiniest line on his resume, the credential his fans used to call him a musical prodigy. Of course. He forces the answer out, cold sweat beading on his forehead. I was in a closed-door training program there for a year. Closed-door training. I nod, eyes flickering with amusement. Strange then. That winter 5 years ago, during your so-called training, your social media login IP showed up at an internet cafe in the country. Boom. The line lands like a bomb exploding in the studio. Aiden's pupils contract violently. His face drains white. How do you know that? You traced my IP, that's illegal. He panics. He forgets to deny it and goes straight to questioning the source, which is the same as a confession. If you don't want it known, don't do it. I press forward, picking up the pace, giving him no time to think. Third question. The day before Galaxy of Love was released 5 years ago, did you meet with someone? A songwriter who goes by N? At the name N, Aiden looks like he's been struck by lightning. His whole body starts shaking. That name is his nightmare and the evidence against him. No, I don't know any N. I wrote that song myself. It's my original work. Aiden babbles, his voice piercingly shrill, hands gripping the armrests, knuckles white, sweat sliding down his cheek. He's terrified. Too terrified to think straight. You wrote it yourself? I let out a cold laugh, gaze sharp as a blade. If you wrote it yourself, why just now on stage couldn't you even nail the syncopation in the chorus? Why don't you even know this song was originally written for the songwriter's late grandmother? Instead, you turned it into some cheap love song. Shut up! You shut up! Aiden snaps, leaping to his feet, eyes red as a rabid dog's. What do you know? I'm an A-lister. If I say it's a love song, then it's a love song. What does some hack songwriter know about the market, about packaging? Dead silence. Everyone stares in horror at this normally polished idol, now twisted with ugliness. Juliet covers her mouth, watching in shock, her eyes darting between Aiden and me. Watching Aiden's ugly meltdown, I slowly rise to my feet. Since you can't remember, let me help refresh your memory. I pull a black voice recorder from my suit pocket. It's old, the edges worn, but well preserved. The moment Aiden sees it, his eyes nearly pop out of his head. He recognizes it. 5 years ago in that shabby rented apartment, he saw it. No, impossible. How do you have that? He looks like he's seen a ghost, legs giving out as he collapses into the chair. This little gift, I've been preparing for you for a full 5 years. I say it calmly and press play. A burst of static, and a young, arrogant, all too familiar voice carries through the microphone, filling the studio, reaching the ears of tens of millions of viewers. Don't push your luck. You think talent gets you somewhere? In this industry, money is king. All I have to do is pin the plagiarism on N, and I can debut. I can blow up. As for that idiot N, let him take the fall and disappear. Nobody's going to believe him anyway. The audio is crystal clear, down to the clink of wine bottles in the background. The room goes silent, truly silent. Even the live comments freeze for 3 seconds. Aiden's face goes bloodless in an instant, ash gray like a corpse. The next second, he lets out a roar and lunges at me to grab the recorder. Give it to me, give it to me. That's fake, that's spliced. His movement is shockingly fast, carrying that mutually destructive frenzy. I saw it coming. I sidestep and lightly hook my foot under his. Thud. Aiden crashes hard to the floor, face first. He sprawls there, trying to push himself up, but I plant my foot on his back. I look down at him, eyes ice cold. Aiden, game over. The recording cuts off. But that arrogant line, money is king, hangs in the air like a ringing slap, echoing back and forth through the empty studio. The room is dead silent. Aiden lies on the floor, body convulsing violently, the physical reaction of pure terror mixed with rage. His face presses against the cold floor, his once perfect hair now a tangled mess. His expensive bespoke suit covered in dust. He looks pathetic, like a stray dog with its tail tucked. No, impossible. This is impossible, he mutters under his breath. Suddenly his head jerks up. Those bloodshot eyes lock onto me. The last thread of sanity in him snaps clean. Ethan, I'm going to kill you. A blood-curdling roar. Aiden surges off the floor with strength from nowhere. Like a cornered bull, he swings a wild fist straight at my face. The punch whistles through the air, clearly thrown with everything he has. The audience screams in panic. Juliet goes pale and instinctively starts to rush forward to shield me. Ethan, look out! I stand exactly where I am, without even blinking. When his fist is 3 centimeters from the tip of my nose, I move. I tilt my head aside, the motion fast enough to leave an afterimage. Aiden's punch hits empty air, his body pitching forward from the momentum. I raise my hands smoothly, 5 fingers clamping onto his wrist like iron pincers. Crack. A sharp, clean snap of joint dislocation. In the same breath, I drive power through my core. A clean grappling takedown, using his own forward momentum, and slam him hard into the floor. The thud is heavier than the first one. Aiden's entire body sprawls across the floor in a starfish shape. I pin one side of his face down with a single hand, mashing half of it out of shape. A scream like a pig at slaughter rips through the studio. I drop a knee onto his back, one hand twisting his arm behind him, the other locking the back of his neck, leaving him completely immobilized. The whole sequence flows like water, so fast the cameras almost can't keep up. As a kid, fighting on Juliet's behalf, I trained in kickboxing for years. Against a viral star whose body has been hollowed out by liquor and indulgence, it's a totally different league. I let out a small breath and look up at the camera pointed straight at us. In that moment, the camera reflects a face cold beyond measure. I lower my head close to Aiden's ear as he struggles and curses through clenched teeth. My voice cuts like ice. Aiden, do you know why I haven't touched you for 5 years? Aiden trembles in pain, his throat letting out ragged, choking gasps, terror in his eyes. I lean closer to his ear, speaking at a volume only the two of us, and the microphone I deliberately pulled closer can hear. Each word lands clean. 5 years ago, I didn't touch you because you weren't worth dirtying my hands. I release his neck and wipe my hand on my clothes in disgust. Then I rise to my feet and look down at him from above, and tell the camera the line I have buried in my chest for 5 years. Today I'm touching you so that Juliet's career can move forward clean. The studio goes silent for 1 full second. The next, like a long-suppressed volcano finally erupting, the room explodes. The live comments completely flood the screen. A dense wall of red exclamation marks. Ethan is incredible, those moves are insane. A real man, this is what a real man looks like. Protected the woman he loves, endured 5 years, and finally snapped. That not worth dirtying my hands line is too devastating. Aiden is completely done for. That joint lock was so satisfying. This is what happens when you mess with the quiet ones. At that moment, the studio's main doors burst open. Several uniformed police officers, led by the station's security, stride solemnly onto the stage. Mr. Sterling, we have received reports that you are suspected of multiple counts of commercial fraud, extortion, and serious tax evasion. Please come with us to assist with the investigation. The lead officer flashes his badge, and cold handcuffs lock around Aiden's wrists before he has even recovered. That recording wasn't just evidence of plagiarism. It was hard proof of how he climbed to the top through dirty means. Add to that the public assault he just committed on live broadcast, and prison is guaranteed. Aiden's face is the color of ash. His legs give out, and the two officers practically drag him along. As he passes me, he stares at me, eyes brimming with venom and refusal to accept defeat. His lips move, trying to say something, but in the end, nothing comes out. He knows. He's finished. In this industry, once you're canceled, there is no coming back. As Aiden is taken away, this entire spectacle finally comes to an end. Backstage, the director almost faints from excitement. Tonight's ratings haven't just broken the station's records, they've made history for live variety shows in this country. The stage lights soften. I straighten my slightly rumpled collar and turn around. Juliet is still standing there, her eyes red, looking like a startled rabbit. She looks at me, her lips parting as if she has 1,000 things to say but not knowing where to begin. I sigh and walk over, reaching out instinctively to ruffle her hair. Why are you just standing there? Let's go. Juliet sniffles. Then suddenly she throws herself into my arms, locking both hands around my waist and burying her face in my chest. Ethan, you're a jerk. She chokes out through tears. You kept this from me for 5 years. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I gently pat her back, feeling her body tremble against me, and let out a laugh. Why would I tell you? So that temper of yours could go blow up his entire agency? Juliet nuzzles into my chest, her tears soaking my shirt. I don't care. If you ever lie to me again, I'll never eat your noodles again. Okay, no more lying. Holding her close under the envious gazes of every crew member and the witness of countless camera flashes, I walk her toward the backstage. That night, the Weibo trending list completely crashes. Ethan and Juliet fairytale couple, Aiden Sterling arrested, N, the legend returns. These 3 hashtags dominate the top of the trending list for an entire week. 3 months pass in the blink of an eye. A late autumn evening. The wind carries a sharp chill. The Golden Statue Awards, the highest honor in the country's film industry, is being held tonight at the National Grand Theater. On either side of the red carpet, the spotlights turn night into day. Aiden's name has completely vanished from the entertainment world. Word is he got 7 years, currently stitching uniforms in prison. Meanwhile, Juliet, with her career-shifting film Silent Testimony, has swept nominations at every major film festival. I sit in the 3rd row, in the family seating section, wearing a suit that doesn't quite fit, idly scrolling on my phone. Around me sit industry heavyweights and celebrities, all sitting up perfectly straight, only I look out of place. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The presenter tears open the envelope, drawing the words out for dramatic effect, building the suspense. The winner of this year's Golden Statue Award for Best Actress is Juliet Reed for Silent Testimony. Thunderous applause floods the entire venue. The big screen cuts to a close-up of Juliet, tonight wearing a deep blue backless evening gown, her long hair swept up high, exposing the elegant line of her neck, breathtakingly beautiful. The moment she hears her name, her signature composed smile appears. She rises gracefully, lifts the hem of her gown, walks onto the stage, and accepts the heavy award. She steps up to the microphone and takes a deep breath. The hall falls quiet, waiting for the new Best Actress to give her acceptance speech. By tradition, she should thank her director, her crew, her parents, and then end with some uplifting message. Juliet holds the award and lets her gaze sweep across the dense crowd, finally landing precisely on that corner of the third row, exactly where I'm sitting. The layer of untouchable goddess in her eyes melts away like snow in spring. She blinks, and a sly little smile appears, the kind she only shows in front of me, the smile of that bratty childhood best friend. Actually, I didn't really prepare an acceptance speech. Juliet's voice rings clear and warm, carrying through every corner of the hall. Because before I came tonight, someone told me, win or lose, there will be a late-night snack waiting at home. The crowd bursts into warm laughter. Juliet raises the award and calls out to me without a hint of restraint. Ethan, are the noodles ready? I'm hungry. The entire room freezes for a second, and then erupts into an even louder wave of laughter and applause. No one expected that this woman, famous for her cool, untouchable image, at the highest moment of her life, would flex her relationship in front of the entire nation, and all for a bowl of noodles. The live comments flood the screen. Ha ha ha, she really is Ethan's woman, that's so on brand. That's so Juliet. Is this what top-tier humble bragging looks like? A Best Actress trophy is worth less than a bowl of noodles. Shipped so hard I could ship this couple for a lifetime. Sitting down below, listening to the cheering around me, I shake my head helplessly. This woman really is the type. We're 3 days without a beating and she's climbing the roof. At a moment like this, all she's thinking about is noodles, but the smile at the corner of my mouth refuses to fade. Meeting her bright, shining eyes on stage, I slowly rise to my feet. The spotlight instantly lands on me. I don't speak. I just smile at her, soft and indulgent. Then I slide my hand into my suit pocket and pull out a small dark blue velvet box I prepared long ago. I don't open it. I just hold it up in the air and give it a small shake toward her. It's a ring box. Even across the distance, I can clearly see Juliet's body freeze, then her hand fly to her mouth as tears burst from her eyes. She understands. This isn't some grand theatrical proposal ceremony. There are no 999 roses, but it moves her more than any ceremony ever could, because this is my lifelong promise to her. The cheers in the hall reach their peak. Someone whistles. Someone shouts, "Marry him!" The camera freezes on this moment. On stage, she is a Best Actress radiating light, holding her trophy, tears streaming down her face. In the audience, I am the childhood friend who has quietly protected her, holding the ring, smiling soft and warm. Across a sea of people, our eyes meet, and the world narrows down to just the two of us. At the very heart of the fame machine, in an industry built on masks and pretense, what we have is the most real and the most burning thing of all. 20 years of childhood friendship, 5 years of silent protection, and this single shared smile right now. The big screen gradually freezes the image, and a single line of narration slowly rises into view. You are my glory, my everyday warmth.